Hello friends, this is Ratnam, Associate Professor of Chemistry from Government Degree College Bodha. Today's topic is second year BSc, third semester, carboxylic acid. Um, let's try to understand the organic part of this second year chemistry in semester 3. Carboxylic acids are basically acidic in nature. The formula is alkyl group R COOH. RCOH is the general formula and the general uh, method of representing carboxylic acids. So the group carboxylic part is COOH is the carboxylic part, and the remaining part R is any alkyl part. It may be aryl, it may be aliphatic, or it may be benzene, or whatever it may be. So the main functionality of this is COOH. They are further classified into different groups like monocarboxylic and dicarboxylic, tricarboxylic acid. Depending on the nature of how many COH groups are present, they are further classified. When you talk about the acidity of carboxylic acids, basically we know carboxylic acids are fundamentally known as acids. The meaning of acid is any group which can give H plus ion is called as acid, that we know. They are actually generally weak acids, but most of the times they behave very strong acids because they can easily give proton, that is H plus is given out. And when H plus ion is given out from carboxylic acid, the remaining part is called carboxylate or COO minus. And this carboxylate ion is actually stabilized by resonance because of there are two oxygen atoms present on the carbon attached to carbon. Therefore, due to that formation, you can see here this is how a carboxylate ion is formed. So this is COOH. So two carboxylate CO. So minus charge rotates shifts from one this oxygen to this oxygen. This is how resonance stabilization is possible for carboxylate ion. Therefore, all carboxylic acids have the fundamentally the nature of acidic character. We can also compare the acidic character of carboxylic acids with its counterparts like alcohols. Alcohols are very weak acids, but carboxylic acids are very strong. The reason just now we are explaining that this is because you can see here the carboxylate ion, that is after losing proton, carboxylate ion whatever is formed is stabilized due to delocalization of negative charge on both the oxygens. It is more stable than carboxylic acid itself. So that is the reason why this minus charge due to the minus shifting charge, and this is called resonance. And resonance is the main reason why uh, it is more stable. Therefore, it loses H plus ion. That's why they are strong acids. So that is how we generally explain the acidic character of carboxylic acids. We can compare this with alcohols, where in alcohols actually the negative charge is not stabilized by any kind of resonance. There is no resonance possible in alcohol, whereas that resonance is possible in carboxylic acids. We can also compare the acidic character of acids with regard to the substrates on carboxylic groups. That is, whatever the substrates present on the carbons. Based on the nature of the substance, the acidic character varies. It may be strong acids, it may be less weak acids. So we can compare any two acids based on the nature of the substance. For example, if we take groups which are electron withdrawing in nature, many electron withdrawing nature groups are present in the alkyl group of carboxylic acid, that increases acidic character. Why? Because the negative charge on the carboxylate ion is reduced. When the negative charge is reduced, its strength stability increases. That is the reason why they are strong acids. If electron donating groups are present, like NH2, OH, any electron releasing groups they are called, if they are present, then the acidic character of the carboxylic acids decreases because they increase the negative charge. Therefore, the acidity weak acids. They are called weak acids. So you see here, um, amides RCONH2, RCOH acids, general acid, RCOCl. Now you can compare here. Actually, this is something different because here um, it is substituted with different groups. The acidic character is already lost, but the substance when present on the R group itself, that is when they are on the um, attached part of COH, then they will influence the acidic character differently. Let us look at the physical properties of carboxylic acids. Um, when you look at the physical properties, the lower carboxylic acids are mostly liquids and they don't have a proper odors. Boiling points, melting points of carboxylic acids increases with increasing molecular weight. Carboxylic acids they generally get associated. That means they form dimers due to intermolecular hydrogen bonding. That is interaction between one molecule to other molecule. And due to that property, the boiling point is higher than its counter. That is same molecular formula with same mass. They also interact with water because of the ability of forming hydrogen bonding. Whenever there is a water, then they can easily mix up and they are soluble in water sometimes. Let us see the different nature of the chemical reactions of carboxylic acids based on the COH group effect. We can go one by one, like oxidation of primary alcohols and aldehydes. These are the methods how we can prepare the different ways: alkene oxidation, hydrolysis of nitriles, and ester hydrolysis by even using Grignard reagent and carboxylation of alkenes, esters, and so many other groups. But according to the syllabus, let us take up a few of them. For example, hydrolysis of nitriles. Nitriles are also called cyanides. They are nothing but cyanides. You see here, cyanide is CN. So when cyanides are hydrolyzed, then this is R group and this is cyanide group. And when H2O is added to cyanide, then what happens? It is converted into COOH, where NH3 is removed. That is, oxygen is attached to carbon, hydrogens are attached to nitrogen. So that finally this carbon will be converted into COOH and NH3 is removed. So this is it is done based on the conditions, whatever it is. Even if you take acidic condition or basic condition, it is hydrolysis, acid hydrolysis, and basic hydrolysis. Both are possible, and in both the ways, we get carboxylic acid from cyanides. See this. This is propane nitrile. That is three carbons are there. Propane nitrile, and when this is hydrolyzed, we get propanoic acid. So this last CN group is converted into COOH. So this is what we have to observe. Similarly, benzene nitrile, that is cyanobenzene. This hydrolysis gives benzoic acid. So this is the aryl nature of the. Next, amides. These are also hydrolyzed. Amides means RCONH2. So we have to first recognize the group amide RCONH2. This is called amide. So CONH2 part is called amide. This when hydrolyzed, again what happens? In presence of HCl, this NH3 is removed and which is converted into NH4OCl, that is ammonium chloride is removed, and OH group is what occupies this place, so that carboxylic acid is formed. This is by using acid and water, just eliminate the ammonium group. So this is simple way of hydrolysis of amide to generate carboxylic acid. Ester hydrolysis. This is a very famous reaction. We know how esters are hydrolyzed. So this is, for example, ester. Ester group recognition. RCOOR. General formula is RCOOR. This is ester. So CS3COOC2. It may be any group. Here it may be any group. COO. This combination is necessary. So this is, for example, ethyl acetate. If you hydrolyze with any acidic medium or basic medium, both are possible. Then we get the salt form first. After that, if you have to hydrolyze, neutralize that salt form, then it will get acetic acid or any or COOH. So in ester, this group is totally eliminated. This is converted into alcohol. So this part is remaining as acidic part, and this anyhow COO is remaining as COOH only. This will not change. This will not change. Only the oxygen attached group R group is totally eliminated. It is lost. Um, this is one interesting reagent by using the Grignard reagent. This method is also famous method for the preparation of carboxylic acids. Here in this method, first of all we should know what is Grignard reagent. Grignard reagent is RMGX, alkyl magnesium halide, RMGX. See this. First alkyl halide is treated with magnesium in ether, then we get RMGX. This is Grignard reagent. So Grignard reagent is first prepared by alkyl halide reacting with magnesium in ether, anhydrous ether. Okay, then we get RMGX as the Grignard reagent. So this R group is very important for us. Now Grignard reagent on reaction with carbon dioxide. So this is again the reagent is very important. Grignard reagent on reaction with carbon dioxide CO2 will generate RCOOMGX. So this CO2, this R group is attached to carbon dioxide carbon. Okay, this is carbon dioxide and C double bond group. So R is attached to carbon and MgX is attached to oxygen. So one side R, another side MgX. After this, on hydrolysis, this MgX is removed where you get H. So this is now converted into RCOOH. What is happening here? The group which is coming as R from Grignard reagent is now converted into RCOOH. So this is the point what we need to observe. For example, this you can see ethyl bromide you have taken, and with the reaction on reaction with magnesium and ether, we got ethyl magnesium bromide. This on reaction further with carbon dioxide, it will give ethanoic acid, that is C2H5, CH3, CH2, COOH. One carbon is extra added here. So the total becomes 1, 2, 3. Therefore, the name is now propanoic acid. The name is now propanoic acid because this carbon is CO2 is now converted into COOH. So whatever there, the group which is coming from alkyl halide, that group is remained as such, and to that COOH group is attached. Total number of carbons we see here, there is a increase in the number of carbons. You can see this 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is butyl bromide. In other words, 1 bromo butane. This 1 bromo butane. Then this On reaction with magnesium, we got magnesium halide. Grignard reagent is converted now after carbon dioxide reaction. Then hydrolysis, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon carboxylic acid. So one carbon is increased. Now this is pentanoic acid. So in the starting we got only 4 carbon alkyl halide, but at the end we got 5 carbon acid. So that is the difference what we need to understand. Let us look at the other way of preparing carboxylic acids, especially uh, aromatic carboxylic acids. This is a special method what we call as oxidation of arenes. Oxidation of arenes is arene means alkyl benzene. Oxidation of arenes is oxidation of alkyl part of benzene. Here we are not oxidizing benzene. That is very important to understand. We are oxidizing the side chain, that is the alkyl group which is a substituent on benzene. Here look at this example. Toluene is there. So methyl benzene. Methyl is the substituent. Now we are oxidizing this methyl group, not benzene. So this is oxidation of arenes on side chains, right? Here the most important point of understanding here is the reagent is potassium permanganate. It may be acidic or basic in medium in potassium hydroxide, or even we can take in any acidic medium potassium permanganate. Then what happens? This the side chain, that is methyl group on the benzene ring, is now converted into COOH. Now we got benzoic acid. Interestingly, you can see that here the benzene ring is now having 3 carbons. That is a propyl benzene. This is propyl benzene. But even propyl benzene is there. This on oxidation, the total all carbons are lost. Side chain total is removed, and there we got same COH group on that part. So we got benzoic acid only. So this is the special reaction where we need to understand that all the other part, whatever the number of side chain carbons, they are all removed or they are all converted into COH. So the total chain is disconnected. And one important point what we have to understand that a carbon which is alpha to benzene ring must contain hydrogen. If it is not carrying any hydrogen on the alpha carbon, which is called benzylic in nature, this is benzyl carbon here. This is the benzyl, that is which is directly connected to benzene ring. In this example, this carbon is not benzylic, this carbon is not benzylic, but this is benzylic. Why? It is directly connected to benzene. So that's why this carbon must contain one hydrogen at least. If it is not carrying any hydrogen, then this reaction will not give any carboxylic acid here. You can see some examples. Here this example already we have seen. Methyl benzene, benzoic acid is the product. This is 1, 2, 3, propyl benzene, benzoic acid is the same product. Here you see this is two sides alkyl groups are there. One is this attached to benzene ring, this is another attachment to benzene ring. On both sides we got COH groups. But here in the last example, this carbon is not having any hydrogen. This is the alpha carbon or benzylic carbon. Now benzylic carbon is not carrying any hydrogen. Therefore, no reaction is observed in this particular case. So that is the essential condition for this reaction, that on benzene, two things we have to remember. Number one, whatever the side chain, whatever the length of the side chain, all the carbons are removed from the side chain and it is now totally converted into COOH. Number two, second point is that it must contain on the side chain, the first carbon, that is alpha carbon, must contain one hydrogen. Without that, no oxidation is possible. Let us look at the physical properties of carboxylic acids. The first important point what we have to observe is the polarity of carboxylic acids. They are very polar in nature because COOH has a high electronegativity difference. So that's the reason why it is polaric in nature. They, due to this polar nature, that is positive and negative charges, it exhibits intermolecular attractional forces are possible wherever there is polarity. You can see any polar molecule has this kind of intermolecular attractional relationship. Carboxylic acids of any given number of carbon atoms have higher boiling points than alcohols. For the same number, we can see boiling points are higher. Already we have seen that there is a property called dimerization. So let us look at the main important point of dimerization. See this, we can compare the molecular weight, ether and ethyl formate, acetate and other. You can see this butanol and propanoic acid. Propanoic acid, what boiling point is 141 degrees centigrade. So this is comparable very high when compared to other with same or similar molecular weights. Why the boiling points are very high? The reason is this property. Because of the polar nature of this carboxylic acid, and also there is a internal uh, what arrangement which is called intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Intermolecular hydrogen bonding, that is, there is a possibility of hydrogen bonding formation for each carboxylic acid on two sides. You see this, on one side it accepts hydrogen onto this oxygen within the same molecule. If we look at the COOH part, this H is now forming hydrogen bonding with the oxygen of the other molecule. So it is having a closed what ring like formation is possible. This is called association, molecular association, and we have only two molecules, two carboxylic acids associate like this. Therefore it is called dimer formation or dimerization. So due to this dimer association, two molecules are combined and behave like single molecule, and due to this the boiling point is very high. You can see here RCO. So this oxygen is forming hydrogen bonding, and this COH, this is forming hydrogen bonding. Similarly, on this side also, this CO is now attached to this hydrogen, and this OH is attached to this CO. So one molecule H, other molecule CO, same type. This molecule H attached to CO group of other molecule. So this is how to write this what hydrogen bonding. It is called intermolecular hydrogen bonding. That is hydrogen bonding between two different molecules. It is not within the molecule, it is between one molecule to other molecule. That is the meaning of intermolecular hydrogen bond. Look at the what the dimerization style of this, the polarity also. These are the structures. How can we understand the polarity? This is polarity CO group. So CO group has polarity, partial negative charge and partial positive charge. That's why it is having polarity. Here also you see oxygen, hydrogen has polarity. This is how we get polar nature and dipole-dipole interaction. And also, due to this polar nature, this hydrogen bonding here also the same molecular dimerization is written on this side. You can see this why they exhibit higher boiling points due to intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Now let us take up chemical reactions of carboxylic acids. First is since they are acids, they react with any base to form salt. And we know very casually that acid on combination with base gives salt. Salt is formed. So here you see sodium hydroxide is a base, and these are the carboxylic acids. So this hydrogen OH of this base, H plus of the acid combined to give H2O. and the sodium plus is attached to RCOO minus. So this is sodium carboxylate ion. This is salt. Sodium ion, sodium salt of carboxylic acid. Same it way in the similar way it also reacts with the sodium bicarbonate even with a weak base, and also sometimes it reacts with ammonium, where also ammonium is now converted into ammonium plus ion, that is also ammonium carboxylate ion. It is a temporarily formed salt. Formation of acyl halides, that is replacement of OH group with chloride. So this reaction is possible by different uh, combinations like phosphorus pentachloride PCl5, phosphorus trichloride PCl3, thionyl chloride SOCl2. So these are all the reagents which generate or which replace OH group with chloride. Each time we get acid chloride CS3COCl. So this OH is now replaced with chloride. So acid chlorides are formed. Methyl acetic acid, it is ester chloride. It can be achieved with PCl5, PCl3 or SOCl2. Any reagent we can use for this purpose. Formation of amide. This is also very simple reaction where carboxylic acid reacts with ammonia to give amide. This amide formation is very simple. See here, RCO. This actually ONH4 is the temporary formation. After that, NH3 is sorry, H2O is lost and it is now converted into RCO NH2. So this is amide formation. RCOOH on reaction with ammonium NH3, H2O is lost and it is RCO NH2. This is called amide. We can take any acetic acid for example. Reaction with it we get acetamide. CS3CO NH2. Acetamide is the resulting product. Formation of anhydride. You can look at the anhydride, the nature, the structure of anhydride you see here. RCOOCOR. So this is the structure of anhydride. And definitely anhydride is nothing but only when two carboxylic acids combine together by loss of water molecule H2O, then we get carboxylic acid, anhydride. So the carboxylic acids are converted into anhydrates. So this is the only way. And for that, what we need? We have to remove OH of one acid, H of another acid. That is H2O is removed. And to remove H2O, we need to use dehydrating reagent. And any dehydrating reagent like phosphorus pentoxide, you can use phosphorus pentoxide as a dehydrating reagent. And where H2O is removed and RCO of one and OCOCS3 of another one, they combine. This is how RCOO Here it is methyl COCOCS3, acetic anhydride. So this is what we call as, because which is formed by acetic acid, combination of acetic acid, acetic anhydride. Look at this. This is ester formation. It is known as esterification. Esterification means carboxylic acids converting into esters. How carboxylic acids are converted into esters? This is a simple reaction. When carboxylic acid reacts with alcohol, it is converted into ester or COOH. This is the carboxylic acid. This reacting with alcohol R dash OH. Then what happens? Hydrogen of alcohol OH group of carboxylic acid are removed, and this O or R dash O, that is from alcohol, R dash O whatever it is attached to uh, carboxylic acid carbon, that is this part, and there we get RCO OR dash. So that is ester. Ester is formed there. This is a important mechanism what we need to understand how this esterification is taking place. See this RCOOH. This is the carboxylic acid, and once carboxylic acid is there, here this is R dash OH, R dash OH, and when this is taken as acid in acid medium, then acid is first attached to alcohol, that is R dash OH2, and here the electron pairs are given to hydrogen, so that this bond is further given out to ROH, and that is how hydrogen is attached to oxygen of carboxylic acid. Here ROH. Therefore, oxygen gets positive charge because hydrogen is attached in here. And this whatever is this ROH, the electron pair and the excess electron pair which is present on ROH, that electrons are given to this central carbon atom, which is electron deficient because of the shifting of pi bond to oxygen. And this is the reason why this oxygen is attached to the center carbon of carboxylic acid. Now two OH groups are there here, you see here. Two OH groups whenever are present, then they are easily converted into C double bond O, because two OH groups on the same carbon is unstable. We know that they are easily converted back to C double bond O. And this H plus is there, therefore this proton is lost. Directly this bond is shifted to oxygen because it is carrying anyhow three bonds, which is not possible for stability, so proton is lost, because with the proton which is first taken here, the proton is lost from here, and from here two OH groups, H2O is eliminated, and now this is converted into CO, RCO OR dash. So this is how the reaction is completed by what we call as esterification in acid medium. Now look at this reaction. This is a reduction reaction of carboxylic acids. When carboxylic acids are reduced, what are the expected products? The products expected are actually aldehydes, ketones are the first stage 1 products. If you further reduce it, then we end up and we get alcohols as the ending product. So when you look at this total reaction, first of all, on reduction, carboxylic acids are converted into aldehydes, and if you further reduce it, it will be converted into alcohols. Specifically, primary alcohols are formed. These are the some important reactions which we are discussing, and we will continue this discussion further when we take up the other parts of the reactions of carboxylic acid. You can see here this. You can this is a Hunts-Dicker reaction. Hunts-Dicker reaction is one important reaction where a carboxylic acid salt is converted into alkyl halide. Here carbon dioxide is removed. The simple and important point what we understand here, that carboxylic acids are decarboxylated, that is carbon dioxide is removed, one carbon is uh, reduced, and the remaining part, that is R group, is converted into RX, that is alkyl halide. For example, this is RCOOH. This is first converted into silver salt. So it is on reaction with silver. It is converted into RCOOAg, that is silver carboxylate ion. This is salt. This on reaction with bromine and CCl4. That is bromine in presence of carbon tetrachloride. You get RBr, that is alkyl bromide, as the product, and silver bromide carbon dioxide is removed. So CO2 is eliminated in this case. You see this how the reaction is proceeding. RCOOAg, that is the silver salt of carboxylic acid. When it reacts with bromine, then silver bromide is removed and bromine is attached to oxygen. So RCOOBr, this is the bromine carboxylate. After that, bromine radical is separated and this O radical is separated. Two free radicals are formed. And here also there is a homolytic cleavage. Bond also breaks single electron from this carbon and single electron on oxygen are converted into double bond. So it becomes CO2. And R radical is removed. R radical is eliminated. So this R radical and Br radical are already present here. They combine to give RBr, that is alkyl bromide is formed. And carbon dioxide anyhow removed. This carbon dioxide is removed. So this mechanism is explained based on free radical procedure. By using free radical procedure, we can explain the mechanism of Hunts-Dicker reaction, wherein we convert carboxylic acid first into a silver salt, and that is called RCOOAg, silver carboxylate. This on further reaction with bromine and carbon tetrachloride is converted into RBr, that is alkyl bromide is generated along with silver bromide and carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is eliminated by free radical mechanism. That is how we need to understand, and we can write the mechanism as shown here. And this further proceeds into one more reaction, that is Schmidt reaction. This is also decarboxylation. Reaction is also decarboxylation. Uh, Carboxylic acids reacts with azide in presence of any acid to give amines. Here also carbon dioxide is removed, but the attaching part is NH2. In the previous case, it was halide which is attached, but in this case, it is NH2 is attached to our group. Here carbon dioxide is eliminated, that's why it is called decarboxylation again. And the final product is amines. Carboxylic acids are converting into amines by loss of one carbon, because carbon dioxide is anyhow removed, that means carbon is reduced. Carbon number is reduced. One other feature what we have to understand is the reagent here is azide. Azide means N3H, or in other words HN3. We can also write this. This is N triple bond N plus single bond N minus H. So this nitrogen is having 3 bonds, no problem, but this nitrogen is having 4 bonds, that's why positive charge. This nitrogen is having 2 bonds, that's why negative charge. Therefore, this is azide N3H, and this is a proton delivering, it is acid, because it can easily donate proton, so that see this leads to a different type of reaction. You see the mechanism, Schmidt reaction mechanism, RCOOH. When acid is there, then this acid attaches to OH part and H2O is removed, where you get RCO plus, and azide is there, and this positive charge attaches to negative part of nitrogen. This is negative charge of nitrogen, and therefore the negative charge of nitrogen is attached to carbon, and hydrogen is again when H is there, N3 is lost, N2 is last, that is nitrogen N2 is removed, and now it is converted into RNHCO. So this is a type of what isocyanate. Cyanate RNCO. Cyanate group is there. Which on further hydrolysis, this CO is now converted into CO2, and this hydrogen is attached to nitrogen, so that you get RNH2. This is a simple reaction. How it proceeds, mechanism you can see here. So this is the Schmidt reaction. You can note down the mechanism of Schmidt reaction, how it proceeds. So this is what the different reactions of carboxylic acids. As we are now in this lesson, we have covered the acidic nature of carboxylic acids, the preparation methods of carboxylic acids, and some of the reactions of carboxylic acids which we have covered in this process. The name reactions, acidic reaction, and Schmidt reactions are also covered in this lesson, and the remaining reactions are covered in the next video. Thank you very much.